May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. You're trading with RT Money, and I'm, I appreciate you showing up. All right. Uh, do not forget to like and subscribe if you like the video. All right. I'm going to give you another reminder later on. All right. A lot of people watch these videos. They go, "Oh, that was a great video. Oh, it got some good information," but they don't leave a like and they don't subscribe and they don't tell a friend. And I'm like, that's the only thing I'm asking you to do. All right. That's my cut. All right. If you do something good in your trading or whatever like that, if you want to give back to old RT, this is the way you give back by leaving a like and subscribing and or tell a friend or all of the above. All right. So moving on, we're going to look at the Dixie, right? The US dollar index first. And I just want you to understand that this is going to be a very volatile week coming up because of Wednesday, you got FOMC, and then Friday, you have NFP. All right. We're talking about the interest rate decision and then non-farm payrolls. Those have huge impacts on the market and have the potential to reverse markets. So this is a week that a lot of pros take off. They just don't do anything this week. There's a lot of other news going on, Aussie interest rates and this and that, or whoever the ECB. There's a lot of news that's going to move markets all over the place. What I'm going to do is tell you through my analysis what to look for to get a better grip on which direction the markets could go. All right. We're going to look for PD arrays and we're going to look for, we're just going to search ourselves for patience and not just jump in on anything willy nilly. All right. This is the summer months, and the summer months can move, can jerk you around a little bit with price action. All right. That's why a lot of big boys don't go on vacation during the summer because summers can be kind of rough, particularly August. All right, so just just be be a little bit more patient, maybe lower your risk, all of that. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of potential for your stop loss to get hit, especially for newer traders. Now, let's look at the US dollar index. We're looking at the weekly time frame. And what the first thing I want you to notice is this bearish fair value gap here. We had a very nice drop the last couple of weeks. Uh, a couple of weeks ago, uh, 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 not last week, but the prior week was a bullish week, right? Where we created that fair value gap. And last week we traded into it and showed it respect. What am I looking for? I'm looking for price to continue down from here. All right. I'm looking for a possible uh, breach of the high of last week. All right, with maybe a wick into the fair value gap, and then we can see possibly price continue down. All right, we're going to see. We're going to see. All right, if we look at the daily, what do we see? This this is indecisive, and this is not what you make decisions off of. You look for these consolidations to be broken. You look for a price to either go up high or down below. And you want to see if price trades through the highs of these old highs or these fair not fair value gaps, but swing highs or swing lows. You want to see if price trades through it, or you want to see if price wicks through it. If it wicks through it, that usually is a tell that price is not finished with business down lower. All right, so it may come right back on down. All right, or if it trades through it where it you'll see a like this low here, right? This low here was traded through. All right, it kind of gives you an indication that price wants to go lower. All right, this is what I look for. All right, and you say, oh, but it went high. Actually, it didn't. It went sideways. All right. And it's going back up only to the the fair value gap, which would send prices lower. All right. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm leaning bearish with the US dollar, but I'm looking for evidence first. All right. If you see this 4 hour, on the 4 hour, you can see how price moves sideways. You want to see something definitive. If price trades through it, especially up to the consummate encroachment, the middle part of the fair value gap, then you know price wants to continue higher. All right. It's hinting that price wants to go higher. If you see it wick up and come back into the consolidation, there's a good chance price is going to continue lower. All right. So we're going to move on. Euro USD. All right. If we look at the euro on the it's not very much. It's just the polar opposite of the US dollar index. You see, we have a bullish fair value gap. Price traded into it here, right? But it didn't close below it. It did fill, but you see how price is finally showing the respect to it as it gets to the bottom border of this bullish fair value gap. All right. So what am I looking for here? I'm looking for price to go higher. All right. And I'm looking for confirmations by price leaving some fair value gaps. All right. If price continues higher and leaves a fair value gap, then I know price could change, trade right into it and then go higher. You understand? Uh, if it comes down here and trades through it, all right, and closes below that low, then I know price is probably going to go on further. All right, what am I looking for? What am I looking for? I'm looking for prices to continue to respect this bullish fair value gap and continue higher. All right, we're in the middle of the consolidation, so I will suggest you wait until you see such a thing. All right, uh, there's another fair value gap here, a 4 hour fair value gap that price could trade into and then continue to lower prices. That's fine too. That that is a definite a possibility, but we want to see how price breaks this consolidation. If we go to the pound, all right, not too different. I like the pound because it's uh, the PA is a little clearer. You see how price created this area of fair value right here, right? Come back down for a lower, a higher low relative to this low, all right? And and then we create another area of fair value, taking both this high and this high, and we trade it through it. You understand what I just said? We traded through it. So I'm looking for higher prices. I am. All right. And what do we have? We have a fair value gap that price traded through and went right to the bottom. And then Friday, we have a bullish candle. All right. Now, that's a very small bullish candle, but depending on, because this was a bullish fair value gap, change the color. All right. Depending on how you want to look at things, we went to the bottom edge and filled this fair value gap, or we're at the top edge of the fair value gap below it. Either way, I'm looking for higher prices off of these fair value gaps. Okay. And I'm looking for some follow through. This this is how markets like to run. They come back to the breakout area, to the area of fair value gap of fair value, and respect. Usually, in a it shows respect if it is to continue in an uptrend. So that's what I'm looking for. Period. Looking for higher prices from here. Easy, right? Aussie. Aussie is a little different. Why? Because there's no sign whatsoever of bullish price action. All right. You should be looking for sells, right? If we go to the weekly, you can see last month, very bearish. This month, even more bearish. This is an expansion. Look at the expansion on this, man. All right. This, we're going to see how price opens up this week down here. We're going to see how far it reaches back up in here. But look, this is the area of fair value, right? That area is fair value, and we're looking for price to respect it. So I'm looking for price to come back into here. This is a very large uh, possible uh, bearish fair value gap. All right, we'll see how price opens and closes here, but this is we're in the expansion of it, right? And we're below the swing low. So I'm looking for price to come back and test these lows to create that bearish fair value gap. All right. Once it goes up in there, on the daily, there's a fair value gap here. I'm looking for price to come up in here, and I will definitely look to take a short from that area. All right. I'll look on the lower time frames to make sure I get some confirmation. All right. And you just have to be patient with it. All right. Uh, what could happen here? Prices pushing up, and I'm looking for it to continue to push up. All right. Could price come down from here? Sure. Sure, it could. This is the Aussie. All right. That would mean a stronger US dollar. I'm not thinking, maybe after Wednesday, we may see something like that. But right now, I'm going with what I have in front of me. And right now, I'm leaning more towards bullish price, a pullback for more bearishness to come after that. A lower low, lower high, lower lows kind of situation. All right. Very, very much the same thing in the New Zealand dollar. Okay. You can see it on the daily. We have these targets here. I didn't even go over targets with the other ones. All right, because those are wait and sees. But you can see these targets. There's a what do you call it? Relative equal lows here, and we have a low right there that price could come and sweep. All right, that's it. I mean, I'm looking for bearish price action, and it's right in front of us. All right, so if price continues down, we take that low, and if we go just a little further, you can see that we take a very important swing low here, and there is the other targets right here, the relative equal lows here. All right, and then I'm looking for a big old pullback. Could that pullback come first? Ahead of time. Without it taking those lows. Sure, it could, but I'm going with what is in front of me, and that seems to be a pretty obvious target. All right, if we go to the CAD, the CAD is weak. The CAD is weak, I say. All right. And I'm thinking that we're getting, you see how many lows have been taken already. This was all discussed last week. I gave these shorts, these low targets, the swing low targets last week, and we knocked them all out. Boom, 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 including this one. Boom. We have one more to hit over here, as you can see. All right. And if you look on the 4 hour, we have relative equal lows. All right, equal lows right there. Price could come, just it wouldn't take much for a price to come on down here and then start pulling back. All right, because this long impulsive move needs a pullback. That's all I'm saying. It's required. All right, price doesn't usually just keep falling in one line. I mean, come on. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to hit those targets and then pull back into a fair value gap. All right. There's one right there. And I don't want to spend too much time on this because that's going to be a while before we hit it. We might not pull back this week, but you never know with this volatile week that's coming up. You never know. All right. This is the view of that same scenario on the US dollar CAD. Now that was the CAD futures I just gave you before. This is the mirror image of it. US dollar CAD instead of CAD US dollar. All right, because when you trade futures, when you trade futures on the spot, you are automatically trading against the US dollar. Okay, but this for the CFD people on FXCM. You can see the target was met here. We have a higher target here, and there is a bullish fair value gap for price to retreat to before it goes higher. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. That fair value gap is at 1.3796, and I'm looking for price to pull back and then jump up into that. Shall I give you something like this here? All right. Before we can go higher, I'm looking for price to pull back first. We look at the Swiss. I gave you this. This was one of my favorite setups from last week and the week prior because I concentrated on this for the last month actually. And if you remember from last week, I told you this was the market shift here. All right, market structure shift. All right, price pulled up into that. All right, I told you it was going to pull back into it. Yes, it did pull back into the bullish fair value gap here, and we continued higher from here. I gave you this arrow. There was none of this there at that time, and we came up, took out the swing high, and then this swing high. I mean, this worked beautifully. What am I looking at this week? Let's get rid of all of that. What are we looking at this week? All right, for the Swiss. This is the Swiss futures now. I'm going to show you the US dollar Swiss next. That's the inverse of this. All right, I'm just looking at this bullish fair value gap here on the daily that I want price to trade into. It's that simple. On this one, it's simple. All right, and all we need is for price to pull back into here, and then we'll see if we can get some higher prices. That's all. All right, we've already taken out our swing highs here. We need that pullback in order to go higher. If we go to the US dollar Swiss, same deal. Pull back into the bearish fair value gap, boom, 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 dropped hard. All right, all of this goes away. Yeah, I can do all of that away. All of that goes away. That's all last week's stuff, and we just concentrate on the bearish fair value gap here. That's it. All right, looking for price to jump up into this, and then we can come and take out this swing low here. All right, I didn't draw this on the other one. What am I looking at? Boom. All right, sure. So this would be my ultimate goal there. Yeah, but the high of Friday's previous high, that would be uh, important to get as well. Yen. All right, this is the last one on the yen. You see the bearish break of structure, and then we have this beautiful pullback. All right, we've broken structure to the high here, but did we actually drive through? No, we did not. We took out these highs. So we took them out. We swept them. That's all. And you see how it went back down into what? A bullish fair value gap, which is what? Intersected by a swing high. All right. I like this situation. That's why I draw them all the time. Told you about this last week. All right. I said, look at this bullish fair value gap. There's a good chance we're going to rally from it. Boop. That's what happened last week. All last week. Very strong rally. I hope you made money from it. All right. And what am I looking for now? Prices respecting that bullish fair value gap. And we should see higher prices from here. That's what I'm looking for. All right. I'm looking for a price to fill that wick and continue higher. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you did. All right. Tell a friend. Leave a question or a comment. If you want me to take a look at an asset, a market, I will do so because I like to do it. This is what I like doing. I geek out on this stuff. All right. I nerd hard on the charts. Okay. I will leave a link in my comments or my description or on your screen for you to check out part 2 of this video for where I go over the indices, oil, and the rest of them. Okay. May profits be upon you. Be careful next week.